Hey everybody, and welcome back to Epic Specials. Now, sorry it's been a long time since you last saw my face. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. I don't know, I'll let you decide. But I thought it was about time I gave you an update of what's been going on. Reason there hasn't been regular updates is just because it's boring old bodywork. But I've been cracking on, I've been making some progress. So I got some bits to show you, so let's have a quick look. First off, I apologise for the noise in the background. It seems that when I decide to make a video, everybody else has to make lots of noise. But the main area I've been focusing on is the front end, the long nose. And the wings are pretty much done. There is still some final finishing off to do, but the main bulk of the shape is there. And they've turned out really well so far. I'm pleased with how these have turned out. I'm trying to keep all the body lines and keep all the radiuses so they look factory, or as close to factory as I can. All these bits will be filled in. Basically, I'm trying to get everything all done on the front end so then I can give it a good coat of filler primer, and the filler primer will fill in all those little low spots. Now clearly the bonnet has got a bit further to go. I did have the bonnet all finished, but I wasn't happy with how it came out. I whacked way too much fiberglass filler in to start with and put quite a big hump in the middle there, and I was spending ages trying to blend it in and make it look nice, and it didn't work out well, so I ground it all back out and started again. And this time I've used minimal filler, and I feel like I've got the shape better, even though it's not smooth. You can kind of tell that it at least follows the natural line a bit better. So that's the front end. I have gone around the rest of the car and done other little bits. So, done a little bit on that wheel arch just to see how it's going to turn out. Everything else is absolutely caked in dust, but everywhere where I've added onto the car and welded, I've just blended it roughly with some fiberglass filler. That's a lot stronger than your normal stuff, and it prevents the filler cracking afterwards, because obviously metal expands in the heat. The filler doesn't tend to, so on a hot day you get little cracks appear sometimes, which can be annoying. Same along the old ductile again, so the fiberglass filler is a lot stronger to hopefully prevent any cracks. The rear lights have got the same treatment, so there's fiberglass filler all around the outside. There's no screws holding on the lenses now, so they're actually stuck into place. All the holes will be filled in, because the Epic Special script will sort of just, sorry, I'm not looking where I'm going. It will just be along sort of this strip along the middle, so you won't see any of the edges. And that will all be blended in seamless eventually. And the same around with that wheel arch. On the side skirts too, same treatment. So it is just a whole lot of filling and sanding, nothing very fun. All the dust. But the fitment's still looking pretty sick. So yeah, doesn't seem very much when I show you it all, but that's been sort of weeks. Like I said before, I only get about an hour a day to play with it. You know, I could spend a bit longer, but it gets very tedious and I lose motivation. Right, just so you got something to watch, I'm going to film myself doing some sanding. Have some fun. Okay, so let's have a closer look. So this is the first sort of rough sand. Sort of starting to get the shape into it. It needs quite a lot more sanding still, and then probably another skim of filler, and then another sand before it'll be sort of where I want it to be. But this is a lot better than my last attempt. My trouble is I find it really hard to just get the blend nice, to make it look seamless. And it's really difficult to tell if you've got any sort of wobbles or warps in it, just in the filler without painting it. But the problem I have is I bought like this filler primer in a spray can, and it never just sets hard. So you go to sand it and it just clogs up the sandpaper, and it's a pain in the ass. Could do with like a mixable filler primer, but that's in a spray can, but I haven't found that yet. Yeah, if you feel it, this very edge feels nice and smooth, because there's slightly ripply along the very edge here where I welded it. Annoyingly, it's sort of unavoidable when welding sheet metal. It's always going to warp to some degree. That very edge feels right, but as you feel sort of further up, you can feel dips and stuff. So needs a bit more sanding, then another skim, and then more sanding, and probably another skim after that, and more sanding. It's just the way it goes. But it's getting there. Like I said, it looks a lot better than it did before. So I'm pleased with that. Right, so that's all for today. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments. I mean, I figure this is just boring to watch. No one really wants to watch hours of time-lapse, but if you do, let me know and I'll gladly make them. Or I'll just keep making boring off-road videos, because that's about the only other thing I've got to film at the moment. Not a lot's going on in other projects. It's just not enough time in the day. But let me know what you'd like to see, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you again next time. Cheers.